Good morning, everyone. It's Catherine from my hillside garden. I thought I'd start New Year's out with a worm video. So please join me as I check in on the worms for the first time in about 3 weeks. I want to say Happy New Year to everyone. It's going to be a great year, so get ready. We're all going to have great gardens this year. I just know it. And the weather's going to be a little bit more cooperative because I know it wasn't very good here in 2018 in Northeast Pennsylvania. So, before I begin, I wanted to mention 2 worm channels. I know many of you, we all watch the same channels or many of the same channels, but I know there's quite a few people who are new to my channel, and I'd like to share 2 of my favorite creators. One is Tori Davis over at Anarchy Worm, and her son just did the most awesome science experiment for school, and they recorded it and put it up on her page. So I'm going to put a link in the box below so that you can go enjoy Jack's experiment. It was really very good. The other page that I want to mention is Emily over at the Crazy Worm Lady. I think she's the first worm creator that I ever signed up for, and she's always got fantastic experiments going on. And to me, she is the worm lady because she has all different kinds of worms. And I believe in one of her last videos, she said she has 17 different containers with worms in them. So I give her a lot of credit for inspiring me. So come on, let's check my worm bin, see how they're doing. I'm sorry if the lighting is a little bit bad. It's the time of year where the sun is not in the best position. Okay, so we have a little bit of trails up here, and there's just one guy traveling around. I'm okay with that. And I know the bin had been rather wet, so I did put in more bedding. So I'm gonna bring you over, let's take a look. Okay, it looks like they've worked through this bin rather well. Let's take a dig in there and see what's going on. Gotta get my glove on. I still have not gotten to the point where I can just put my hand in there. Okay, I know I fed, I believe on this side. This is an avocado rind. Well, it's like paper now. Oh, and I have to get used to doing this again. Look at all those red mites. Doesn't it seem like they're always on the rinds of the avocados? That seems to be a big attractor for them. So, while I'm not really going to worry so much about that, I think I might end up just throwing that out when we're done. Also in here we have the top from a pumpkin. I had a couple of different kinds of squash and pumpkin I've put in here. So let's see what's going on down here. Oh, they're still eating pretty good on this side. Always love to show. Oh, look, there's red mites in here. I've never seen that in the soil before. Yep, they're red mites. Okay, if anyone has a suggestion, I guess maybe I should add some, I'll have to grind up some eggshell. But otherwise, the worms seem to look pretty good, which I'm very pleased about. The one thing, I never seem to be able to find any cocoons. Now, I know they're reproducing in here. It's just I have not been able to find any. Oh, and there's a little potworm, if you could see that by my finger. I'm not worried about him either, but I have not emptied this bin. Oh, look at all the red mites. Wow. Can you see them well enough? I have never had that happen before. So, I guess I'm going to have to grind up some eggshells. I will add them after we're done because I hadn't planned on that this time. So let's, and I know, as I said, this is a bit moist in here. And there is still some undigested food and bedding. Wyatt, no. I have my tray of food for the worms next to me, and Wyatt is very interested in what's going on. So, And this is rather moist. So, oh, more mites. Look at that. Wow. And I freeze all of my food. So that's the other thing that I don't really understand. But something's out of balance because this bin was doing very well. And now all of a sudden, I think part of it might be the moisture. So I did drain off the food. And I am going to put more bedding in here. And then next week, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start harvesting worms. So I think that's probably a good thing at this point. And there doesn't seem to be, but this is the side that doesn't have food on it right now. Okay. Well, I want to be sure that they're fed. Wow, this looks very nice in here. Even though it's a little bit on the damp side, it's very crumbly at the same time. So I'm very pleased with the work they've done on this bin. So let me get the food. We're going to put it in on this side this time. I don't know if you followed me long enough, but at the bottom of this bin, I had put all egg cartons. See, this is very moist at the bottom. I had put all egg cartons, and it seems like they are all gone. Oh, nope. Wait, let's see. Nope, there's still egg cartons way at the bottom. So, but I don't see any mites on this side. And this is where the pumpkin was, where that top was from, because look at all the seeds. But since it had been in the freezer, none of them have sprouted. So I'm going to feed on this side this time and put some more bedding in here. I moved part of, and look at this. This is just, so many of us just love when we find these worm balls. Just look at that. That was another avocado. That wasn't finished. Maybe I'll be able to find a cocoon in here. You'd think there would be. If you've never done anything with worms, you should really give it a try. It is so interesting, and it's a great kids project to teach them how the cycle of everything goes. And it's a better way to compost your food scraps. And that way you get something awesome out of it in the end. You get wonderful, wonderful worm compost. See, this was the part of the avocado that they were so involved in. And you know, there's a little bit of red mites on here. A little bit, but not much. But this is what they were all, oh, look. Can you see them? They've gone inside. Look, this is the seed pod. I've never had that happen. They're actually in there also. Let me see if I could get a better picture of that. Can you see that? I'm sorry, this I guess is going to be a long video. But I just think that is so cool that they're in there. And there's no smell, so everything is composting the way it should. The worms are doing their job. There's no offensive odors. It doesn't smell like anything, really. I think this is so cool. As I said, I drained out as much of the liquid as I could. We're just going to give it a plop in there to make it easier. And this was just leftovers. There's sweet potato peels here, peas, and I think mashed potatoes, which had no dairy put in it. So we're going to make that a nice layer there. We're going to give them some cover with what's here. Hopefully they'll move over. We're going to put some more paper bedding on the top. I have that right here with me. And then next week, what we're going to do is we're going to start the harvesting. I still don't see any egg cocoons. Maybe I need a stronger pair of glasses. I don't know. So generally for bedding, I tend to use my junk mail that I shred. I don't put any of the plastic, or at least I try not to put any of the plastic from the windows of the envelopes. But it's just another way to recycle and to put less waste into the garbage dump. And the worms seem to enjoy it. I don't think I'm going to moisten any of this because there is a good deal of moisture in the bin right now. So we're just going to put this as a nice layer on the top. Oh, I have to come back and do the eggshells. Okay, I guess I'll be moving that. So, all right. Okay, so that's the first of the year's update on my worm bin. I hope you'll join me next week, or for the next video rather, of when I begin the harvesting of the worms and for the worm compost. So thank you again for joining me on my channel. I appreciate all of my subscribers. Have a great day and happy gardening.